Hey guys, this is my explanation for single trait genetics. This is basic Mendelian genetics. Now, just like this problem you see here, it's important that you know the difference between the 6 vocabulary words. Let me scroll down and let's talk about that in just a second. Now, there are 6 vocabulary words. Knowing the difference between dominant and recessive traits. This is referring to one trait is stronger than the other. One gets overpowered and one of them is the stronger of the two genes. In this case, in the problem above, brown-eyed people have the dominant gene when blue, green, hazel, anybody with light-colored eyes, they have the recessive gene. So I'm just going to write other because there's way too many to list all of them. Now, so for the problem, we need to assign a letter to represent the dominant and recessive. Typically, what you would do is you would choose the letter of the dominant trait. In this case, it happens to be brown. So within the problem, if they have brown eyes, they would possess a dominant gene. If they have blue eyes, green eyes, they would have the lowercase b. The difference between homozygous and heterozygous. Now, zygous refers to the zygote, the combination between the egg cell and the sperm cell. When the egg meets the sperm cell, that's when you create a zygote, one individual single cell that everybody starts off. The term homo is also means the same. So when we're talking about the two genes that make up the zygote, if they are homozygous, that means that both genes are exactly the same. So that would mean you would have a big B, or little b, where both genes are the same. So in this case, this one means homozygous dominant, and this one means homozygous recessive. Now for the hetero portion of it, hetero means different. So that means you would get one of each. And it's important to remember that within the two genes, even if one of the two genes is dominant, that means you are going to show the dominant trait. The last two, involve the difference between genotype and phenotype. This is basically writing down the type of person you are based on whether your genetic makeup or the type of person you are based upon what you look like. So in this case, the genotype, we're just asking you to write down the gene combinations such as big B, or you could be big B, little b, or your gene combination could be little b. That's it. Nothing else, just writing down 2 letters. Now, phenotype means what you physically are going to look like. Well, if you are big B, you're going to be brown. If you are big B, little b, because you still have that one dominant gene, that still means you're going to have brown eyes. And then finally, if you are little b, that means you are going to be blue. That is the recessive trait. So knowing the difference between dominant, recessive, homozygous, heterozygous, and genotype and phenotype, that is important in order for us to solve this problem. Now, solving this problem, Step 1 is identifying what's dominant and what's recessive. In this case, it tells you that brown eyes are dominant to light-colored eyes. So over here in the corner, I'm going to write brown and other, where big B represents brown and little b represents the light-colored eyes. Now, let's figure out the genotype for mom and dad. Dad is heterozygous brown. Hetero means different, so that automatically tells you that dad's genotype has to be one of each. Big B, little b is crossed with mom, who is homozygous recessive. Homo is the stem for same, and the recessive tells me that it's going to be little b, little b. Now the next step is to take dad's gametes and mom's gametes and move them on top and next to the Punnett square. So dad goes here, big B, little b, and then mom goes right here, little b, little b. Now fill out the Punnett square. This would be big B, little b. This one would be little b, big B, and little b, little b. Now, to determine the offspring's genotypes and phenotype. Genotype would be simply writing down the letters. This child, big B, little b. This child is little b, little b. And the other two are exactly the same. So I just write down the percentages. So out of 4, 2 out of the 4 are going to be big B, little b. So that is 50%. And 50% would be little b, little b. Now, the phenotype, what would the kids actually look like? This kid and this kid are going to have brown eyes. This kid and this kid will have blue eyes. And this so happens that it's the exact same percentage as the genotype, even though they are independent. Genotype refers to the gene combinations, and phenotype refers to what the kid looks like. And that's it for single trait genetics. If you have questions, please see me in class.